Hello, everybody. I'm so delighted to bring you Randina today, who's been so lovely to talk to us all about her beautiful, incredible journey. Randina is a powerful teacher, healer, transformation queen, and she runs an incredible business. And she came to me, it's probably more like 8 or 9 or even 10 months ago now. And we worked together for 6 months. And she was already doing really well. She was at 5 figures. And she quickly doubled that, went to 24,000, I think it was, over a few months. And then had a multi-6-figure launch selling your incredible program. And I just wanted to do this video for so many reasons, but the biggest intent for me is to really inspire women that they can absolutely do this. And so could you share a little bit about your journey and what it was like working with me and the whole process that you kind of went through?
Yes, I would love to. So even before I even met you, I had my vision board, I had my plan, I had my desire, I knew what my purpose was. And I remember saying, I know that there's someone out there that speaks my language that can help me. Please align me with her. And it was like that night, I think it was, when I was on Facebook, I saw one of your ads and it was like, I read it and it literally was you were speaking my language. So I knew that you were the one. I didn't even need to opt into anything. I just was like, she's the one that's going to help me. She's the one that's going to get me to where I need to be. And so that's when I filled out an application to work with you. And then, the rest is history. But one of the things that I absolutely love is that you have such a beautiful gift of seeing the truth about women. Because I remember in our first session, face to face, you were like, why are you being Cinderella? You're acting like fucking Cinderella. And I was like, I am acting like Cinderella. And I still remember that comment because that shifted everything in me. So thank you for that.
I love that. And I love that you remember, because sometimes as we're building our empires, as you know, we're so busy doing the work and serving and we can forget, like it just comes out. And, both of us, we channel our work. We're both very strategic, but we really go from that heart and download messaging. And sometimes it just comes out. And so I think what I was trying to mean by all of that too, it's when, you can see someone's potential, as you do with all your students, you see their potential and they don't fully, or they see it, but they don't fully, it's not embedded, right? It's not embedded on a vibrational cellular level. So there's all that fun. Not owning it yet. And so what was the experience like? Because I think a lot of people kind of see women like us and they might get a little bit intimidated. The big word at the moment is, kind of fierce. And I was just saying to a friend of mine, it's really funny that we relate to women. And I love the word fierce. I think it's a gorgeous, yummy, juicy word. I'm not offended by it in any way. But I just find it really interesting that when a woman owns her truth and her voice and she stands up online like we are, taking up space, calling other people into action, that there's this wording that we use around fierce, but fierce to me is just a woman who owns, her truth. And it's interesting that some people, I think they can get a little intimidated by it, maybe because they haven't yet been given permission to do that, or they haven't allowed themselves to give themselves permission to do that yet. But can you sort of explain what it was like to work with me? Am I all one level, or how do I actually come across, really?
You are really a very loving, kind-hearted, beautiful soul, like really, really. And you see the worth of women and you show them what it is. So for the ones who get intimidated by the fierceness, they also have to realize that they have to step up too. You do have to have a certain level of fierceness to be successful in your business. You just do. And being intimidated by other women who are there, that's your own internal programming, because I knew at that point in time, I needed another woman who could meet me and carry me up, right? Like I didn't need any more of these women who just dance around and who are afraid of me. I needed a powerful, fierce woman to be able to do this for me, to call me on my shit, because most people are afraid to do so. And how are you going to up level and grow if someone's not calling you on your shit? So it is beautiful, and there's just so much sisterhood and love and honor and togetherness and camaraderie that comes in our relationship that was also something that I was longing for too, because women who are strong and powerful in their businesses, they do have this sort of reputation of being, you know, overbearing, but that's not even how you are. That's not even how it is. It's like so beautiful and soul driven. And that is one of the things I love about you too, because I mean, you just speak it and you say it, and like you say things that people are afraid to say. And if people are going to be afraid of that and intimidated by it, they're not cut out for this. So
definitely not cut out for the Ingridana or the Randina brands. I think what I say a lot to my students, and you're an amazing example of this, and you know, I've had a lot of my students who are in my masterminds, because we also work together privately, and I'll say go and watch Randina, because she demonstrates this level of energy, this presence. And if you want to, I believe, reach people, especially where women are now, where we're having this really big femme up level and alignment into our fierce divine femme, it's not soft, because we have to activate. And you're so powerful at that. And that's why you sell so well. And in order to sell and monetize, like, we have to wake people without speaking down to them out of their slumber.
yeah.
You know, and when I'm talking about, you know, Randina, she's done incredibly well. She's grown a multi six-figure business. She has women flock to her because why? Because she takes a risk every day. She is true to herself. She speaks her truth without apology, not wanting to just be liked. And I think I see so many women stuck in financial struggle as well, because they're in this people pleasing, appeasing, and I've been there too, people pleasing, appeasing kind of vibration, which I believe, and I want to hear your view on this, curtails the vibration. It's a suppressed, dense vibration, right? And then when we liberate our voices and just go, you know what, F it. And by the way, we're going to have lots of bleeps in this.
I should have known us talking.
I was like, it's all good. And I see that you do this so brilliantly. You're activating people, you're calling them into action. And if we don't do that for people that are prospects, they just sit there usually in the same repetitive patterns.
Yeah.
So what's it been like for you to more fully claim that? You know, I know that you have your Randina rants, and what's it meant for you to really be in that level of power for you and your business?
Well, I had to stop being scared of people's reaction. That was like number one. And so when you're afraid of how people are going to react to you, or if you say the wrong thing, people are going to judge you, that's an old world limiting belief system that you picked up when you were a child that is going to keep you in poverty. It's going to keep you, suppressed, because you have to be confident in who you are. You have to know who you are and be able to express who you are without worrying of whether you're going to offend someone or not. Because the truth is, if you offend them, you're their divine appointment. They needed to be offended, because you can't do anything to anybody. People are reacting because they own triggers. So that is what I have to say about that. You know,
absolutely, me too.
Move out of fear.
Absolutely, I love it. Move out of fear and just speak your truth. And whoever is meant to then be for you will be for you. And you know what? Sometimes the highest offering is, you know, that we can, which is what you're saying about the divine appointment, which I love, is that it is that divine message that they needed to hear, and they have a choice on whether they learn from it and grow from it and up level, or they stay in that kind of blame kind of victimhood mentality. If someone was thinking to work with me as a strategist for their business, what would you say to them?
I would say if they didn't do it, they'd be fucking stupid. That's what I would say. Honestly, I'm not kidding. It's like, because the minute I worked with you, the minute I said yes to myself, it's not only a yes, I'm going to do this to the universe and showing the universe that you're serious, and so you're going to be rewarded, because that's what happens when you show up for yourself. But it's also, you suddenly are immersed in this support that you didn't have before, and now you feel like you can do it, because you are a fierce woman, you are a strong woman, and when other women step into your energy field, they also feel that activated within themselves, which is why it's like success, because they have that support and they have that energy of being able to do the things that they came here to do. Because all of this, everyone who has the desire to step out and help other people, they have a soul purpose to do so. And if they don't get over their own shit, they're going to constantly be creating negativity for themselves. So the minute that they say yes to themselves and no to their old life, then they step into a place where they're going to be successful. They're going to allow the success to come to them because they're already demonstrating. So that's what I would say. I know that's what happened for me, and I know that's what happened for so many people who already have signed up with you.
I'm lucky for that. I was just thinking, and I've seen a lot of other coaches get really annoyed about people talking about making money quickly. And I thought, it's true. Like, there's a lot of work and there's a lot of deliberate action. And, one of the things that absolutely you do, like, I could only do so much. And then the person that's working with me has to be incredibly diligent and follow through. I actually just was saying to my students, I could give you private coaching sessions every day, but if you don't do the work, it ain't going to work, right? Yeah. So, right. You have to be accountable. We have to be self-responsible, and that's why you got such incredible results. But one of the things about you and I, with our level of where we're working on our consciousness level, I also find it a little bit humorous that people get so put off by people talking sometimes about making money quickly, because from my point of view, I also made money really quickly in my business when I got over my shit. Yeah, and I was like, okay, this is not working for me. I did the gradual scaling thing, and yes, there was a lot of work in the background that went on mentally, spiritually, even physically, with my presence and making sure that I had radiant health, because you can't carry it if you don't have well-being. But then I don't think there's not so many things to do. I think where people get trapped with making money is, number one, their consciousness is so low, thinking, oh my God, it's going to take forever to make my first 100K. So what happens? They take forever. I've had, copywriters end up doing their first 250K, go from first of all, they were doing $500 a day, $1,000 a day, $3,000 a day. So what I want to say to people is, look, yes, it takes work. Yes, it takes consistency. Yes, it takes a level of courage, and you're going to have to take risk, and you're going to have to release all that junk in your trunk and then have the adequate strategy. But it can happen quite rapidly when you have all those components together. And so we're not doing get rich quick scheme stuff here. Randina has put in a tremendous amount of work into her work as well. And yes, now, because her vibration is high, because she has a strategy, and she's continuing now without me to keep growing and growing and growing, because she has that bedrock of knowledge and expertise, and she knows how to monetize now. Yeah. Right. And so you're going on, and you'll keep going and going and going. There's nothing that's ever going to stop you. So I just want to say to people today listening to this, whether you ever work with me or not, please break free from this grind, hustle, scarcity. It's going to take forever. It's so hard. I just had someone sign up with my free group, and she's like, oh, I've already invested. I don't want to invest again, but she's not at 10K a month. And I'm like, well, obviously whatever you invested in, either you didn't apply it properly, or it wasn't the actual training that's going to get you into 10K a month in the next 2 to 3 months. You can absolutely do that if you have the right set of behaviors and the right strategy. And so it's interesting when someone comes to me with that mindset, their mindset's already off, because it's like, well, you're not making the dollars, and you're therefore not having the impact that you were born to make. And then you're already saying, no, I don't want to invest. So please don't do that to yourself. Remain open.
Yeah.
Ask the right questions. Make sure someone has the right testimonials and the track record, or the social proof that I'm speaking to here right now. And don't close yourself off from learning and growing, because if you're not doing 10K, 20K, 30K, there's something off in your thinking, your mindset, your energy field, and your strategy. So open the door to the possibility of having someone come in, right, and offer you something that might actually shift the dial.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest things for me too, because I remember after we started working together, I was, when I first started doing this, I was like not doing any group programs, and I had like 5 high-level clients that I thought were high-level at the time, that were each $2,900. And I remember when, after I first started working with you, it was really owning my worth and the value of my work, and seeing the transformation that my past clients were getting and still receiving, even though they weren't in connection with me anymore, that I was able to tell the next client, look, it's $9,997 for an 8-week program with me. And it was like, she said yes instantaneously. So the idea that and I didn't have any system and structure set up yet. I hadn't even launched my whole first program yet. It was like, I had a list that was like 200 people, and I mailed my list and said, I have an opening. If you want it, email me back. And I got a ton of emails back. It doesn't have to take a long time. And it doesn't have to be so gruesome like everybody says. When you
Yeah,
have your
exactly.
down, when you know what you're worth, when you know what your program is worth, when you know how to use the energy of attraction, you can get rich quick and feel good about it too.
Absolutely. I mean, I think I went from my first program I was doing 1 hour sessions and things like that. And my first one was a 6,000 pay in full. And I just was over myself. I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm going to be broke forever. This is not getting me anywhere. And I think what you've just shared is, so powerful and so true. You only need one compelling offer. You don't need 10. You don't need a list, a massive list. I think my list was, I always say, skinnier than a supermodel. I think it was about 500 people when I started selling high-end packages and went from $100 an hour sessions to that 6K and then 10K and above and beyond. So it's just so beautiful. Guys, thank you for watching. And I want to thank Randina. I don't want to take up too much of her precious time because she has lives to change and two kids to take care of. And Randina, I was saying before we hopped on here, Randina is a single mom. She has a line of men, of course, just look how gorgeous she is lining up for her. But she's a single mom who left a very difficult, traumatic relationship to build her life. So she doesn't have a sugar daddy. Maybe she'll attract one now if she wants one. But she didn't have a sugar daddy, building this business. She did it on her own. So I just want to commend you because you have been such a beautiful person to hold space for. I know that your work, and this is the thing, selling high-end and doing the work that Randina does, and now she's gone into group high-end and beyond and also does digital. But the thing about women like Randina is it's not just slapping on a high-ticket price on a lame offer. Randina has a level of excellence in her mastery. And when you have that and you honor your word and you do your work and you get the structure and the strategy right and the price points right, that's when you can take off. Because there are lots of other talented women who just stay in poverty. It's a choice to rise into wealth. So I'm inviting you to do that. If you want to talk to my team, please do. The link will be below. Reach out, PM me if you've seen this in an ad. I'm happy to answer any questions, and blessings. And thank you again, Randina.
Thank you so much.